this be Nickelberg?
These people aren't turned. And the village seems... What is going on here? Heed the call. No, to be honest, What are you doing?
It is my home.
You keep...
They came to perform the rite. This village where they shall...
Give them.
Le free out.
They want... Forgive me. But did enough...
You mean the traveler from Stone?
Thank you.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Excuse me.
I am. Lord Rosfield.
That's right. And you must be the
I am.
Cyril was worried for your
Then I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill.
He said that you had failed.
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. You have seen them at their prayers. They devote themselves to the veneration of their praying night and day that they might be rid of their... Not that they might be granted respite from their woe. Serve him with... I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master. And so I would see these people safe, that they might do their duty to their Lord.
You do understand.
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become... I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, forgive me, my lord. But I must... Did you hear that, my lord?
I'll go and find... Beneath the flood. There must be some... Echoes as well.
Ready, brother?
Ready. What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. Damn it! Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation by devoting themselves to the service of their Lord, just as I did when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. I should get this.
My lord, I am glad.
I met with your third chair, Cyril.
Thank you. He
died protecting the villages. I buried him in Mickelberg.
If you could not say...
The villages, they were believers. They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of the... Then an ether flood came. Your brother sacrificed himself, even knowing that that life...
Then he perished defending... For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their own terms.
A noble ambition. It matters not how only that we live according to the teaching, for better or...
But he didn't die for your creed, and you still believe that what he did...
I believe we of the Undying are not slaves, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this man's name, to know the names of all the Undying who... They died serving my house. That is my...
Of course, I shall fetch the book of my lord, the greatest honor of my life. Though our duties may differ, yours, and were they here...
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Must we away? My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must.
He must.
The time is nigh, Ifrit.
Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. It's just a big crystal. How hard could it be?
You should have... Welcome back.
Welcome.
Yes. Truth be told, it was me who suggested, but from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve, but he didn't lose heart.
Indeed it is. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back...
Wait, Sergeant. And this time he was found wanting. After all...
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be... But a scout's nose is different, and by sniffing out that log, young Ep wouldn't do to waste.
Fine.
I'll do. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit fire. I'll show you.
Daft as a brush, that one. Just like... And if you ask me, we'd be about time the curse breakers took some of the weight.
Couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you?
Forgive me, Sid.
But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Remember that.
I will...
Mid. Tell me...
It's most of what I need. And a cogwheel. Gears that small are a bastard.
Wait, the children. Now that I think about it,
The young'uns? I'll keep working on the model.
Sid!
She wasn't. She's just busy working.
A new invention? Is it an...
Do you think she'll let us...
That just so happens to be why I'm here. A brass gear. A tiny one.
Oh, the one you forgot.
We saved it, just in case.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then all the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds.
That's...
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear?
That's all for now.
Thanks, Sid.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet? Well, did they have it?
They did. And they...
Will it work?
What exactly are you going to...
Only the wings aren't going to move on their own. Well... That should do her. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do. need your... Joshua and I are looking for...
Snow daisies. I reckon Man's Hill would be. Both have similar climb.
Right.
Did Eula...
The gardener here mentioned the...
The fields beyond Northreach. I recalled that she kept the record, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that's...
Whose shores border...
Say what you will, Lady Karen and see our shelves haven't gone bare.
Is there out you need? There's no... Yeah, lad. And I've never...
It's hardly...
And you can count... Be seeing ya.
I did it, Sid. I made friends with all the animals in the hideaway. But you know what I'd really like? My own goblin. Or maybe a marble or bomb.
What do I owe the honor? What do you want?
That it? Fine. Well, the sound of ringing's... And who knows? So, what'll it be? That it? Fine.
You all right?
Something troubling.
It's just... Edda's baby will be
I'm sure she'll...
back in the north.
Yeah,
So... Is there anything... All right, then. No,
I think you're...
What can I do for my favorite nephew? Do you know what? 'Twas not your mother, but above all, and so you... Well, don't do anything.
Got any more of those special elixirs?
I hear the Duke's agreed to let us
We've
keep
got
our
more
land.
pips than the Vale's got pats.
Seems the Duke's had a change of heart.
The garrison did away with posting guards here.
Those things didn't fight like men.
Run like the wind.
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Jotun mentioned the coastline. We can start there. Quiet.
I do. Flowers and our friends. you see, boy?
Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
That was harder than I... But found her. She'll love them.
It appears my work is done. Well, we wouldn't want another thunderstorm.
Jill.
There is?
It's, how would you fancy a trip?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped, so lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
Was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me, a silver...
Oh, there was near...
Can't say it wasn't a relief to see the better part. The Guardians finally taking their leave.
Just about surviving, are you? But the wind... And thank good... Like being half of me. When I was a little... Like crap, I swore. It ain't exact... And that's just... You come back and visit, all right?
Are the bearers taking well to their new home, June?
How do? Much obliged. There you go. That all, is it?
I've got greens of all shapes and sizes.
How do? You've...
No.
Want to know how to tell if the world's going to rack and ruin?
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
Look, Daddy. Shining so brightly.
Whoever's idea it was to take those bearers...
Can I help you with... You wouldn't happen to sell silver... Was a silver... A silver chocobo sighted in the hill...
All's well, my lord.
Good girl. Run like the wind. All right. Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change. More tracks. The chocobo was here. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. Just borrowing a feather for my... Thank you. Let's get this back together.
It was no trouble at all. Clive, how'd you get on?
Any luck?
Chris Perrin.
It's a lot.
Right there on the road.
Everything up there's been the empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I...
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'd have had to... They'll find a new... After all. That's... Anyway, what matters is, you... And now all the...
I didn't know you...
Like the fact I'm as good with a whip, and that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. But it weren't your Avis, Sid.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit.
Don't speak too soon. There we go. What do you think? I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to... Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed is a...
Give him one back.
You can... I don't want Gav to give up being a scout, honest. I don't want Gav to give up being a scout, honest.
You be careful up there.
How are you feeling?
Well. Is...
Wrong.
Go on. Did you make...
We did. Aye. It's from all of us. It's a good luck charm. I mean, a baby. Oh,
I thank you.
If there's anything you need.
I will.
Fancy a swift off.
I could be... Don't you think you've had enough?
No, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over. What with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. My whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway, after I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know. Good girl. Be safe. Guard dogs. Quite a specimen it is too.
It's over!
No match for you, eh, Torgal? Come on.